Okay. How is this supposed to be bigger? Okay, guys. Good morning, everyone. Hope we're good. I'm trying to type on the groups a second, and so we are not on X this morning, but we are on Kick, Twitch, and I'm trying to get the links for Kick, right, and then the link for Twitch as well. Okay. And I'm sharing to all the groups and the platforms we've got. And let me quickly go through the comments a bit. Okay. GM guys. Yeah, GM, how are you guys doing? Hope you're good. Hope you are great as well. Okay. We are live. Okay. Greetings, Solomon, Vex, Fadis, greetings as well. Hope you're good. I've got a shifuwealth here. I'm early today. Hey, welcome. Calm Solutions, greetings as well. And we've got Stanley, greetings, morning as well. Victor, greetings. And talk to Mike, greetings as well. Okay. Greetings as well. Okay, so let's get started. Welcome every single person. It's good to have you all on today's live stream, and let's get started today. So, the fact that okay, I think this is what I can do. I literally wanted to get this to go live on X, but I can't get to do that now. So maybe I just post the stuff. Okay. What's the problem now? Oops. It seems like the software I'm using, it's uploading. I want to see if I could be able to do this without glasses. Can I do this without glasses? Okay. I don't think I can. So I definitely need to use my glasses. Okay. Fino, greetings, Fino. Mr. Prince, greetings as well. Queen, greetings to you. Arinze, greetings as well. Hope you're good. Lady Investor, greetings as well. Okay, guys, let's get started. There are three things that I think a lot of people are angry about right now. Three things that are upsetting a lot of people in the space and in the industry that we're in. Is cryptos, to be more specific on crypto, right? Three things that I get a lot of people angry right now, and not just angry per se. I would say discouraged, and the first thing, it's the fact that Bitcoin has been deeping, right? Bitcoin has been going down, has been retracing. It's gotten a lot of people very, very um downcasted emotionally, and I think it's because when we've got Bitcoin going down, right? And the worst of all, the worst of all situations and circumstances, not just Bitcoin going down now, we are also seeing um, altcoins going down more drastically than Bitcoin. So let's say if Bitcoin is going down 5%, you're seeing altcoins going down like 55%, 100%, and down, really, really down. So a lot of people's morale, should I say, are in the all-time low. And one of the way you could literally get to gauge investor buyers and sentiment very well right now in the season we are in, it's the fear and greed index. The fear and greed index have always been like the ultimate gauge for all these kinds of things. And in the fear and greed index, what you can see here is right now the fear and greed index, it's at its extreme, right? We are at the extreme point of its ever. We are at the extreme point of the fear and greed index ever in the it's I'm coming, guys. Trying to see if this is gonna work. Okay, if you look at this, we're not just in fear, we are in extreme fear. Extreme fear. There's a popular phrase which I believe or presume a lot of us already know. We've been hearing it, but you know the saying that it is easier said than done. There's a saying that goes like it is easier said than done, and I feel like a lot of people get to it. We see this play out in the world of crypto specifically, especially, and what do we see play out? We get to see everyone talks about buy when people are afraid, sell when people are get greedy. But when people are afraid, instead of we buying, we end up also doing what? We end up also being among the people who are afraid, right? So in the context of what we are expecting or looking forward to, that okay, this is what people are going to be like, right? We're saying that people are going to be very fearful, and we end up being those people who are fearful. And then when the market gets very well and becomes very green, we say people are going to be greedy. That's the time to sell. We end up being those people who are going to be greedy. So we become the victim of this quote, and not really people who are, should I say, standing outside of it, outside the box to look at, okay, this is what is going on right now. If this is what is going on right now, this is an opportunity for me to practice what I have been told or what I have been saying or I've been reading over the years. And there's something I always say is that the more things change, the more they get to stay the same. And we get to see and experience this same thing time and time again. So right now, what you're seeing, the state you're feeling emotionally, mentally, is what you're seeing here. You can see it. The a lot of influencers are calling for 90K, 80K, it's going down, 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 and we are in the extreme fear. So what do we do technically when you're in extreme fear? Obviously, we know that we buy when people are fearful, we sell when people are greedy. Just last month, people were greedy, right? You can see it. The greed index rose to about 60%. And then 1 month later, people are not just fearful, because last week people were afraid, yesterday people were afraid. Then right now, we are having people in extreme fear. Extreme fear. And this is where we call what we refer to as FUD, right? FUD, fear of uncertainty and doubt. So a lot of people right now, in fact, not just a lot of people, maybe some of you right now as well, are going through that same thing in real time. In real time now, this is not just joke. This is not just saying that okay, this is going to happen. This now in real time. There's some of you who are facing this, experiencing this. There is fear, and the fear of okay, is this uncertainty, fear of uncertainty. The uncertainty is that is this going to happen, right? Is will this still happen? That fear of uncertainty is there. And then the second thing is fear of doubt. Okay, will this really still? No, I'm not sure. I'm sure. I'm not sure. That is the mental state a lot of people are right now. But this historically over the years, this is when to win. I mean, I'm not the one who came up with the phrase that buy when people are fearful, sell. I'm mind you, it's not something that originated in crypto, right? It's a phrase that of all time in the world of finance and investing, whereby I think I can't recall who exactly came up with it, but the person who came up with that phrase is dated back down to stocks, right? It's from the history of the stocks market, and we get to see that play in every other market asset that has to do with investing within the finance world, the structure of finance and all that put together. But now, there are those of us who are making money, regardless of whatever is happening, whether the market is coming down, it's going up. And I'm not referring to making money, I'm not referring to leverage now. Leverage is something you want to be very careful about. It's good to do it, but don't be too aggressive with it. You have to like find the common ground and balance around it. There's a lot of risks with leverage. So, but for those of us who are making money, uh the main thing is at this time when it seems like a lot of people's morals are down, this is when a lot of us are getting very serious. And when I mean getting very serious is we are so serious that we are locked in, right? When everything is green and the market is so wise, everybody wants to lock in at that time. But that is the wrong time to get locked in. In fact, this is the best time anybody wants to get locked in. And myself, right? Myself, you get to see informations I share to those on the privately, like one-on-one. And not just that, apart from the fact that okay, I know I give early information to those who are like on my one-on-one. If you have even been following the calls I've been giving in the past 2 months specifically, there's no way you shouldn't have made good profits. No way. Anyone who's been following the calls I've been dropping back to back in the past 2 months, there is no way you shouldn't have made profit. And if you have been in the Telegram, I'm not even talking about being in any paid whatever, paying any money or whatever. I'm talking about you just being in Telegram or even following my Twitter, right? My Twitter, my X. It is impossible. In fact, should I use the word saying it's impossible that you shouldn't have made money because back to back informations. I've been dropping informations and stuff. I think even the last time we had a live stream, right? We had a live stream and I got to talk about the markets and the movement on the market. I talk about Solana and I say like, okay, I'm not sure I'm going to drop because I know there's an information like I just wanted to just be focused on people my one-on-one. But if I decide, if I feel like I should, I know a couple of persons reach out to me, we send them DMs and like, please Shifu share, please Shifu drop and stuff and whatnot. Said okay, I then decided to post. I think the next day on the Telegram, that was when I dropped the ORER token, right? And I say that you guys can get in within $70 to $80, and that was because people were asking that okay, since I said um on the Solana space, this is what is going to happen within the Solana, whatever. What should be my pick? What should be like? What am I recommending? And in terms of because I was like, see, this is the thing. Even if you like you did your own personal research, right? You definitely would have been up significantly. If you did your personal research, you would be up significantly as well, right? And that was just like me in terms of what's the word to use now in terms of sharing that. So uh here is what I do. Here is what I do in terms of incoming. I'm gonna check open my Twitter a bit. Twitter. Okay, it's known as x.com. Now, not like Twitter again. So this doesn't mean that, okay, I as a person, I don't get to. This doesn't mean I don't get to lose money in terms of, okay, portfolio being down, right? And I mean, there are coins that obviously portfolios are going to be down. Coins are going to be down, portfolio is going to be down. I have assets that are down 50% down. So sometimes I open some of my wallet, I see like minus $50,000. Some I sold at minus $30,000. Some minus $100,000. I have various accounts and all that. So I get to see that, right? But that doesn't stop me from like making money, right? That doesn't stop me from making money, and it shouldn't stop you. So mostly, here is one thing I do, right? And I want to show us what I do. For example, let me share my tweets here now. How do I do this? Okay, I want the Twitter to be big and then myself to be small. So this is Twitter, and this is. I don't know this why it's showing this way. Okay, so this is my Twitter. I want to show us something, because if you know, one thing I like doing is practically showing you examples, right? This is one thing I do whenever I get to share with you guys, teach you guys anything or see anything. I always show you practically with examples of what I do, right? So it's not like I come up with something, I just say for the sake of saying. I always show you something I do. So I want to show you something. October, right? I bought this, and you can see here where I talked about it. I bought ML Strat. ML Strat. So I gambled on this. So my plan was that I'm gonna gamble 10K on both of them, right? 10K here, 10K there. But I think I later, what I did was, instead of putting 10K on each, I was like, okay. So this is something I do. Instead of buying 10K into a particular asset or coin, sometimes I could decide to say, okay, I'm gonna put. Say if I want to buy a coin with $10,000 now, I'll be like, okay, I'm buying $5,000 at the current market price, which is CMP, and then okay, if it comes down a little bit, then I'm gonna deploy the second 5,000, so it gets complete. That means I've totally risked 10,000. I don't like support my risk amount immediately. I split into two M3s such that, okay, this goes here at this point, and then I put it again. That's what I do. And in this case, I did the same thing. So I was like, okay, I'm deploying 5K first, and then I'm going to deploy 5K again when it goes down. Now I want to show you this in terms of, this is what you're seeing here: 20 sold in Solana, and then I posted this on X. So I'm looking at, okay, if this just does 3x, right? Just 3x, just 300%, I'm gonna be out, right? And then now, although this base bot shows like the dollar value, right? But at the time when I do this, it was like around $5,000 initially. So it was $5,000, not even this. Now, this thing dropped from $5,000 to this level, which we're saying I was down minus 66%. Now, I don't want to focus on if I added more position and whatnot as well. This is just 2 days later. I was down 66% on this particular asset and coin, right? And let me check something again. I want to check if I did a quote on this. I did not do any other quote on this again. But the next thing I want to do now is I want to show us um I want to show us where this coin is currently. This one that is down, like the Emostra. The network is a bit slow this morning, so you guys are going to sort of manage with me. And by the way, MS Strat, like you see, it's on Solana, right? So I want to show us something. When I got in, it was at 10 million market cap, right? 10 million market cap was when I got in on this coin, right? So look at how low it dropped, right? It's jumped drastically to 277,000, all the way from being, I like using the market cap, so it helps me understand very well, so I know where I got in. So this is what you see me posted, right? Where I got in, all the way from when I posted it, that was 57th, I don't 57th on the Twitter X page, which is just so now. It started coming down. So this is where it is right now. So at some point in time, my $5,000 was $500. It jumped from $5,000 to $500, and I was like, okay, this is dead, and this is dead. So what did I do? Now, it's not like in every situation or every circumstance I get to wait for that to happen. No. But I'm just showing practically so you can see that, okay, I did this practically. So you have like an understanding. Now, when this went down from 5,000 to 500, what did I do? I decided to sell off and then move immediately. I sold it off and rotated the money into Ore, right? I'm like, okay, this is bad, but for Ore to move from, so it was, I think, somewhere at 1,000. Sorry, it was at 1,000. So when it came to like 1,000, so I've lost 4,000. When it came to like 1,000, I sold off, so I had 1,000 left. I'm like, okay, if Ore just moved 4-5x, I will recover my capital back. And I rotated it into this, right? I rotated it into this, and the 1,000 I rotated into this. Right now, I've not only recovered the money back, but I'm already up on it like 100%. So my 1K has turned 10K on just this alone. But I want to do a little bit of should I say, get lost in what is being said. One, first of all, I got it on MS Strat. MS Strat was failing. Fundamentals look good, utility looked good, everything was looking so amazing. I got in with Solana at the time, it was $5,000, and then it dropped to 1,000. I'm like, okay, fuck this. I sold up immediately, carried 1,000, and threw it, rotated it into the Ore, right? And then I rotated into Ore, my 1,000 there turned back to 10,000. Remember, the initial was 5K in the other asset, right? And then I've recovered it back because I am not tying. Was I pissed that, okay, that went down? Yes, but I was not tying everything. I knew that, okay, this would definitely outperform and do so well. So I rotated it. It's just like when I did the video some days some weeks ago on 4, right? We sold off. I told you I sold off my 4. I'm not ready. It was just going down. I'm like, this is supposed to continue going high, but it's not doing the way I want it. So I sold it off, right? When I sold it off, what was the next thing? What was the next thing I did when I sold it off? I sold it off, then I took the money. I told us I placed the money. Is in Xpin, right? I think it was Xpin or whatever, or is this still, yeah, I can't even recall which, but I put it in Xpin, I think so. And then we started seeing Xpin continue flying. And I recovered times 5 of it very back. So a lot of people get stuck with, okay, my money is coming down. What do I do? God bless. My money, please. Oh, my money, I'm down 60%. A lot of people are in that state, right? And a lot of people get to, and because of the emotional attachment to that particular asset, you start praying that, okay, God, this asset should just go up, please. If you please just go up. If you go up 100%, just 50%, I will respect myself and take profit. A lot of people are there. So I think this is one thing I do. So I'm not telling you that, okay, everything is just win. No. What I'm telling you is, I'm coming, guys. you can see what I did there in terms of what's it called now? In terms of uh a filling portfolio, right? Rotating. So meanwhile, coins that I know that okay, these coins are gonna be for a long time, it's gonna be there, it's gonna be stuff. I have these things running. I'm not bothered about them, right? But I'm referring to the funds I use to rigs around, right? The funds I use to rigs around, play around. Those are the ones I'm referring to, right? Those ones I'm referring to are the ones whereby we get to um I get to show you how I relate with it. And I'm getting to show you that those things you feel like, okay, this person is having, is experiencing, it's just win-win. No. It's about strategy. Having that understanding that, okay, I knew this is going to do. Why should I be stuck here? Why should I be waiting for you? I mean, this is it's obviously failing. Pull off and move off. Why? For example, when I wrote a post on X about 3 utility coins I believe is going to do very well. The first I gave us was Xpin, which we see has been doing so well. Xpin has done over 10x since I gave us. It's done very, very well, performed very, very well, extremely well. And now, then COAI did very well. The first one, it did like 3 to 5x and came down again and ran up again, like twice. It performed very, very well. Now, the first initial run on Deal, it did so well at the first run, and then but since then, after that first one, it didn't do so well. And so when we compare the three of them, the first two are performing very well, are performing the Deal. I actually literally expected that Deal to like do so well, but I think later on I found out that it's a project by a couple of Africans, and it seems like those people are building the hype around their project around certain, should I say, religious people in the African demographic, which I definitely I feel it as a very foolish thing. So to me, I just feel like the people behind the Deal projects, either they are myopic or they are senseless or they are just dumb, right? Because why would you build sentiment about your project doing so well around a particular set of religious people in a particular demographic, right? I'm not I'm not emphasizing on the people per se. Those are not my concern. My concern is about the project. Right. So because if they leverage on the fact that you have a good utility, you have a good whatever, there's a thing you're doing. Like look beyond just these few persons, right? Look at the external part and maximize the community, right? You're gonna take a good advantage of it. But when a lot of projects are just, it's just like most crypto projects we get to invest in. I don't think if you've ever heard somebody, a project comes and say that, okay, I'm a Turkish project, it's just for Turkey people, or I'm a this project. We're in a global space. In a global space, it's for everybody, right? Don't limit the capacity of what you can do, right? And you get to see those things. So I think I just lost interest. Like this is bollocks, right? And I decided to just sell off and rotated it. What happened? I rotated into Xpin and made a good amount of money out of Xpin. And when I mean rotated it, is that this is it. My first buy on that coin, it moved 8x already. I did not sell a dime. I didn't sell a dime because I believed it to do so well. Even when it was coming down back to my entry, I still was like, okay, this is gonna do so well. So then when it was like, this is getting out of hand, it's getting serious. I had to now say, okay, let me go and check this guy's X. Let me go and look at their Twitter, look at the stuff. So I started looking through their X, right? Looking through their X accounts, and I started seeing the X accounts commenting on certain people's posts, right? So when I look at the people who they are commenting on, these people happens to be some religious set of people who are, should I say, influential in Africa, in the religious sector, who I think they talk about their bias or religious or prophecy or whatever concerning certain coins and all that. And I was like, okay, this when a project, so I look at the set of people who they commented on and like, okay, this is bollocks, right? Because this means we say about people who owns this project, right, should be connected to this set of people, this group of people, right, who are influential in quotes in Africa, and then probably they don't have the wisdom or sense that they should expand their tentacles beyond just Africa influencers, right? Having global influencers. So if they had done that, I think maybe later it's going to come up, right? But to be honest with you, no shit. I don't know who the guys behind this, the project itself, but I feel like they are dumb, right? They are dumb. Honestly, that's the truth. The people behind the deal, is it the deal, right? The deal, Monex, whatever, they are dumb. If they are sensible, they should. There's no reason why they should allow their stuff get so down when it's so good, right? For me to imagine the caliber of project I even lined them up with as well. So, but that aside, so this is saying you don't get to get so married to one thing, right? You don't get so married to one thing. Like study opportunities, right? Study opportunities. Know when to move from this to this, move from this to this, and then know when to rotate. So capital rotation is something, I think it's something that you practically learn, right? I've been a DJ for years, even if I don't really do as I used to do before, but somewhere somehow you got to know that okay, this is how it works, and if you know that this is how it works, this is what you're doing, and then like that, you just get better at doing that. So that is one thing, right? One thing that a lot of people are being affected by, and one way people like myself who are making money even in this season, this is what we are doing, right? This is what we are doing. Because, for example, now you see that maybe let me just say it, maybe let's use this array and how do I do this now? Okay. So let's say this is Ore, right? And I said we should get in at $70, $80, right? And then somebody you bought in a coin, and probably the coin you bought in is down 50%, and you're like, okay, this or that one, and if you feel like this, when you look at it, you study it and look at, okay, this has the potential of moving up first. What do? You rotate your funds from the other one that is going to take a longer time, and then put it here. And then once your funds are up here, what happens? You can decide to sell off and go back to still buy those ones, right? Now, know that the fact is capital rotation is just basically the art of knowing when to move your funds out of a losing trade, a losing position, into such that you believe is going to outperform and recover your capital back and make you profit. Me, by giving you that same opportunity to reevaluate your portfolio again and say, okay, is it time for me to go back into this? Can I rotate my funds back into this or no? Right? Or no, that gives you that. Number two, I said three things, right? Number two is impatience, right? If you look at the Dune analytics right now, let me see if I can get that up. I'm not sure, but Dune analytics of holders patience or time. I'm gonna get the right search. Okay. I'm trying to. So I may need to log in, but I don't want to log in now. I don't want to log in because I may need to log in to show us this for Dune. But to be honest, I don't want to log in. I don't want to log in. How do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? Dune is actually very good. What is it good? It's a very good stuff if you get to look at it from time to time. It gives you a lot of insights into a lot of things. So if you are, should I say, data conscious, data related, it helps you a whole lot, a whole lot. I'm looking for, okay, share this tab. I need to share the tab for you to see. You guys can see. Okay. Poop, 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 poop. I'm not even looking at the aspect of creators, right? We've got a large number of creators. Imagine when you have like over 20,000 people creating stuffs. It's an insane number, right? I'm looking for a key metrics, which I'm looking for a key metrics, pump volume. I'm going to look for it later and then share the direct link to it on the Telegram. That's what I'm going to do. So it doesn't like keep me trying to search for it. But the key metrics I was looking at is the patience level, the patience rate of people in crypto has dropped drastically from where it used to be a year ago, how it used to be 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. It's dropped drastically, like drastically, so bad that people are very, very impatient. So we call it the holding rate. The holding rate of people, it's bad, really, really bad. And I think one of the reasons for that is majority of persons have lost sight of the long-term perspective of what they are in, right? And their obsession over just meme coins per se. There's so much obsession over meme coins, over crypto being. It's just the approach, right? The approach. So, for example, let's say the market is going very well for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and then we experienced a retracement or a dip for a week or so. Everyone feels so discouraged and down and stuff. And then everybody begins to feel that okay, this is over, and then all of a sudden they are back again. Ah, we are back again. We are happy. Let's roll. And then all of a sudden again, everyone starts saying, "Oh, we are over. It's over. It's over. I'm getting out. I'm getting out." And they're like, "Oh, we are back again." It's the circle just keep on repeating. And I think it's tied to understanding, and the understanding I'm referring to has to do with impatience, right? Impatience in terms of someone um, looking at people stating that okay, this is the Dune analytics, right? The Dune analytics in terms of people's holding rate is very poor. People's holding rate is very poor, very poor. But it's a good tool to see what is going on chain. On chain data that is not. When we say everything is that based on data, that is people can see whatever is going on. It's I'm not referring to social media data in terms of looking at X, looking at Facebook, or looking at all the social platforms. No, that is what happens on chain. So people who are able to see things that happen before it comes public, before it goes on X, before it goes to all these platforms, are people who are able to like bury their head into on-chain data. And on-chain data, do analytics helps you very well. You could see a lot of things across various chains. I use it a whole lot. But I think I stored it somewhere because if I had logged in, I would have been able to come up with my link and then probably share my holding rate on my link and stuff and whatnot. So that impatience is there, right? And then the impatience is also tied to meme coins and the approach to it and whatnot, right? So this gives me to my third point. So the first point I looked at was the fear and greed index, right? And then the second point I looked at it's the impatience, the fact of impatience, which is tied to people's mindset, understanding about all these things. And then the third thing, it's um too much wrong information. Too much wrong information. There's too much wrong information out there, and there's nothing as dangerous as having half knowledge, or should I say half truth. It's better that a person is ignorant than having wrong information, wrong knowledge, or should I use the word too much information, too much wrong information is equals to wrong knowledge, or mixing right and wrong information. So when you're looking at too much information in terms of there's so many right information, there's so many wrong information, and you begin to mix both of them, what happens is that you don't even know how to filter it. And if you don't know how to filter knowledge, you don't know how to filter what is good and what is wrong, you will end up being a catastrophe. You will end up making a lot of mistakes that you just keep on repeating. Because see, and why this happens is because of a lot of people lack very deep understanding how the world of finance works. They just lack an understanding of how this world of finance works. And the fact that crypto is more of a spectacle inside the whole finance structure. Crypto is just one small part, right? It's not the big thing. Crypto is just one small part. You even get to see this because most times, like even when I try to hold the educational sessions where I begin to like teach and stuffs and whatnot, you don't see people want to join in those kind of sessions. You want to see people when you start telling them that, okay, buy these coins are going to do 1 million X, right? That is when you get to see that, right? But it's just, that is just one thing, right? There's a whole different picture when it comes to, even the word of trading, investing, there's a whole different picture. It's just like, why do you think, like, let's look at the Forex market, for example. Every day you see people teaching. Every day people are teaching, people are doing holding classes, holding mentorships every single day, every single month. And yet, in the Forex trading industry, 98 to 99% of people are still failing. Why are people still failing? It's because what the majority, or should I say the 1% are teaching, is not the most important thing to be taught. And why is that? Because most people think the most important thing to be taught is the strategy of, okay, just knowing when to buy or to sell. Beyond knowing when to buy or sell, there's a different thing that has to do with emotions, capital. The same thing I'm talking about, capital rotation now is done in, you do it in trading as well. Knowing when, okay, when should you close this trade, or when should you hold to this trade? When should you do special? It is the same thing. People, you've learned, okay, you know how to trade now. Why are you not making the millions? Why, you've gone to all the classes. Why? Because that is not the most important thing, right? You see the same thing apply or displaying in crypto. People choose to ignore the most important thing. And that is why sometimes even my method of, should I say, mentoring or training or whatever, is not the way people would want to expect, whereby, okay, you have to be here and then lock them up and start teaching them something day to day. It doesn't work. Everyone is doing it. It doesn't work. It's just like in the Forex trading network now. In the Forex trading network, I can count how many times I've even gotten the time to do a private training with them. I've held a few private trainings with them, right? And there's so many testimonies that I have not even posted. So many. I have like a full collection of folder of screenshots and that have been designed by my team for people in the Forex trading network that I have not even posted at all. So many. I think just one I posted yesterday because I'm promoting the link of that platform. There's so many I'll post later on. But I just will do one of those sessions. But beyond that, one of the things is that is benefiting a lot of them there is, okay, they are able to see how I think on trades, how I reason on trade, how I'm saying that, okay, this one I'm getting out of this trade, there's no point holding this, and I'm cutting short my position. So what happened? They're having a feel of my mental journey. That's the best form of learning. And I always say something, observation is the best form of learning. There are about 2, 3 of them or 4 of them that I know specifically in the Forex network who are always asking me questions every week. They'll be like, Shifu, every time you used to do your analysis or post this, you always see this, and they will ask questions, and I always answer them like, okay, this is what you should do. This is what it means. This is how you should approach. And what's happening? They are learning. They are growing. Why? Because that is the best form of learning. That's the best way you get to grow. So it's in a way you're being self-taught while you're also being taught experientially, right? Experientially. Now, let me focus. I'm using this as an example, just an example, a prototype. And then we look at specifically crypto as an example now, in terms of lack of understanding how the world of finance works. Crypto has been classified as a high-risk environment. Every country, every first world country knows that this is a high-risk environment. What does a high-risk environment mean? It means that there are so many cryptos that are not even legal. There are some coins that you can't even trade in certain countries. There are some countries in Europe that has banned pump.phone, so you don't even use pump.phone. I don't use pump.phone. I've never used it for a very long time. I don't know if it's over a month or a year now. I'm not sure I've used it since this year. It's banned in so many countries, right? Because this is a high risk environment. It's a high risk environment. So the question now is, if crypto is a high risk environment, what does it also offer? It's because it's a high risk environment, it offers a high reward potential. So you could make astronomical gains. You could make 1,000%, a 10x, a 2,000, 3,000. You could make so much money out of it. You could change your life like we are seeing people's life being changed. But the truth is, what you're forgetting to also equate is, and the downside of it, which is the reverse, is that you could also lose a lot of money very fast. You could lose a lot of money as fast as you could make a lot of money. And because we don't factor that into equation, it disrupts our decisions. It disrupts our mental composition in approaching the market. And two, and when I say mental composition in approaching the market is, for example, if something is high risk and high reward, what that should tell you is there will be a crazy level of volatility in this market. You can't tell me that, okay, if someone comes to me and tell me, Shifu, if you put $100,000 here, you're going to make $2 million in a couple of weeks or months. If I'm putting that $100,000 in that thing, automatically, what I'm expecting is wide swings, because wide swing means it could go either way. That means before it's going to get to, let's say, 1,000% or 2,000%, it may even drop 50%. It may drop 60%. It may drop 70%. Why? Because it is a high risk, high reward environment. And so because I believe it could drop like that, my approach to that will be based on that mental composition, because I'm in such an environment. I'm not in a stocks environment. Because, I mean, there's no, should I say, regulatory body monitoring a lot of these things. Most of these things, coins you're buying here, there's no regulatory body monitoring these things. So if there's no regulatory body monitoring some of these things, I'm not referring to all of them, some of them, right? Majority of them, there are over 2 to 3 million coins. Out of that 2 million to 3 million coins, it's just about remove 99.99%, so you have 0.0001% that really matters in the grand scheme of things over time. The rest are all jargons. The rest are all junks. The rest will not even be here in a couple of years' time. So many coins we're buying today, in a couple of years, in a year time or 2 times, there will be jargon, there will be nonsense, there will be rubbish, regardless of whatever is being written or talking about them, regardless of whosoever is talking about them. Some of them will go out in the grand scheme of things. If you have this understanding, what you want to do is, okay, how do you approach this market based on this understanding? How do you trade and invest based on this understanding? How do you not want to be angry at anybody when you know that you are responsible for your own decisions? And then how do you, in a healthy way, trade within the market? How do you navigate funds between putting money here, putting money there? How do you know when to be at peace, knowing fully well that, okay, if this play is a good play, then this is going to do so well. If it's a good play, it's going to do so well, and then, okay, I'm going to be here, then I should just chill. I should wait. What picture should I look at this particular thing? What category should that be in? Right? Knowing all this helps you. Knowing all this helps you. Based on the level you are in, there are so many videos, so many teachings, so many trainings I've done based on various categories and various levels of life. So you want to approach all these things based on what level category you're in. For example, majority of people I deal with right now are HNWIs, right? And HNWIs means high net worth individuals. I deal with a lot of high net worth individuals, and these are people who are in government, parastatals, and politicians, and people who are also in various high levels in their industries, and who are coming into crypto and are looking at, okay, they want a guaranteed way of sure information that I know that they can really make money and maybe quadruple their investment, make 5-10x and this thing. And people who have like $1 million, $2 million, $3, $4, $5 million, and they want to make way more than that. Or looking at, or people are coming into retirement, right? I have a lot of people who are coming to retirement and they're like, they're putting some money in money fund, and so they are thinking of, okay, risking a part or allocating a part into crypto. And they call me and like, Shifu, please, what do you have for us? And they're like, can you help us allocate this and set this up and then know the right things to buy? I do that for a lot of people. That's the people I do it, a lot of them, right? And then now, Those people, there are certain kind of insight. What I do for them is not what I do for the public, right? Not what I do for the public. Their approach is entirely different based on the level they are in and the capital they have. There are times where I'll be like, okay, let's hold on. We're not buying anything now. Let's just wait till the market sorts out and then we get in. But still on still, there is a macro view. There's a macro perspective about the market, what it's going to do, how to play it, how to go over it over time, over the next year or two, and this. And then you still see them outperforming every other person, outperforming the majority. You get to see that. You get to see that over time, right? Over time. So these three things, if you have these three things right, you're going to be on the right side of things for the rest of the year into next year. Even when the market decides to now flip bad and stuff, you're going to be on the right side of things. The greed and fear index issue has to do with Bitcoin dipping and altcoins dipping. Number two, things I talk about impatience. Number three, too much wrong information based on the mindset and methodology people have about crypto and understanding the world of finance. A lot of people in crypto are financially illiterate, right? And that is why you can see somebody that could make so much money out of it and they could still lose so much money out of it. So you want to find a balance around it, right? Crypto is just a medium, right? It's just a vehicle. It's a vehicle to your dream. It is not the dream. Crypto is not the dream. Web3 is not the dream. It is only a vehicle. There are people who have made it their dream. It's just fine, right? But know your part. Know what you want to achieve. Know what you're working towards. And know that this is a vehicle. And then understanding everything about the vehicle and the journey of that vehicle to take advantage of it very, very well. Now let's look at the charts. Let's look at Bitcoin specifically. And what I'm looking at in Bitcoin and what we are, where we're going from here and all that put together. Let's just look at that together. And let's see what's. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we look here, look at what we are seeing here. This is Bitcoin, right? So this was the entry. Initial entry was at 104k, and we're targeting here, and then it got to the first target was 116,000. It got there. It did like a 2 hour, and it made us some amount of money and all that put together, and then the market retraced back into the entry zone, and then for a couple of days it's still playing around the entry zone, right? It's still doing whatever it's doing, but Bitcoin is still in our entry area and it's still playing around. I think I marked this one when I saw it coming down. I marked here that okay, this is going to come down to this point for a possible entry. Nice. But now let's look at it. So Bitcoin is still in our entry zone. It's still playing around our entry zone, and when it's done playing around the entry zone, it should buy aggressively. So the picture still remains the same, right? The picture with should I say I've drawn for us, I've shown us, it still remain very, very clear. And that picture is we began looking from a weekly perspective. So everything we've talked about a couple of years time, we've already seen all that happen. So let's look at the weekly perspective first of all. We'll look at 1 week, then we'll look at the 3 days, and then we'll look at all this. So if you look at the weekly chart, this is a proper way of a proper structure, right? A proper structure is a higher high, a higher low, a higher high. It comes back, clears this previous low, right? And picks up from the the first origin, or what is it called, originating block or whatever, and then continues going high. Sometimes it comes here down again and then picks up. This is a weekly structure. Now, if you are approaching the market in a weekly structure, you're not going to start saying that, oh, you want to look at it with the perspective of it being what's the right word to use for this now? You don't want to, you're not, this is not a 5 minute chart. You're not looking at a 5 minute chart. You're not looking at a 1 hour chart. You're not looking at a 4 hour chart. You're looking at a weekly chart. A weekly chart takes weeks, right? And weeks, you're looking at a month or two for fully coming to produce. That's why it's referred to as position kind of trading. Position trading. Now, what you want to see, this particular week candle is closing in 2 days time. So today is Friday the 7th. We've got 8th to 9th, right? So we've got Saturday, Sunday. So this means that by Sunday we want to see that this market has closed. It closes with a week, right? So in fact, for us to see 143k in 43 days, right? Very amazing title. For us to see that happen, what you want to see is the weekly close. You want to see the weekly close strong. So you want to see it close strong. Once we get that close on Sunday, then that is your goal, right? That means this weekly candle, you see the way this one here, when we first bought in, see the way this weekly candle closed here, when we first bought in, look at how it closed it a week. It closed like a hammer or whatever, or pin bar, whatever it's called, a hammer or pin bar. That's how I want to see this. You don't want to see this close. There's so much sell volume here. I want to see this close with a pin bar back above this level. So once it closes very well, back into the entry territory, just a little bit above the entry zone or entry territory, what happens? Then we are good. Next week should continue taking us higher. Now, let's look at the 3 days charts. If you look at the 3 days chart and saw that, what I'm trying to say that I want us to see in the weekly, look at the 3 days chart. Look at how this closed on Monday. Monday close was also above here, back into the zone, which showed whatever it is. And also, if I'm to look at the, what is it called? If we want to look at the orders in the market, right? And you get to see most of the orders have been cleared, right? Most of the orders have been cleared. Most of the orders have been really, really cleared. So you want to look at that, right? That is when I mean most of the orders. That's, I'm looking at order flow, right? What's it called again? Volume, the volume footprint. So if you look at the volume footprint, you will see that most of the buy orders here has been picked up already. So it rotates for a while, and then so this 3 days candle. So this is now the most important thing. The next 3 days is the most important, right? I want to see this close. But this is the sweet thing. The sweet thing is, if you week down to, let's say there is this line here, the white line here is 90 what, 96,000. Even if you decide that it wants to wick to 96,000 now, it's just wick down and then to see pick up. It's very, very strong. So what matters is, how does this 3 days candle close? The 3 days, the next 3 days candle is what is going to determine how this weekly candle is going to close. So anything you are doing that has to do with long positions, trading an asset and all this, you want to have a perspective of, okay, the next 3 days, how is this going to close? The next this week, how is this week going to end? That's the most important thing. How will this week end? How will this next 3 days end? Even if it decides to weak a little bit to 97k and 96k, it doesn't matter. What matters is that this structure still stays intact, and if this structure still stays intact, you will have full confirmation when the weekly candle is closed. So if you're still filled with so much fear, still filled with so much doubt, you're trying to be very careful. In fact, you're a conservative trader. Wait and chill. Wait for Sunday. Wait for the Sunday market close. In fact, I feel like usually Mondays are a busy day. So I feel like what may happen, maybe, right? I'm not certain yet, because I think I want to go out on Sunday. But if I'll have time on Sunday, I will still come out live again on Sunday, and then we watch the market close. So what may happen is, it depends on the time zone you're in, right? But even if you are sleeping at the time I'm gonna be live, you could always what I'm so let me check what the day is gonna be on that day. Okay, that's gonna be ninth, right? So even if you're asleep when I'm live, you could always like watch the replay on the YouTube and then catch up with wherever I've stopped. I know that you can like pick up from there too. And so whatever happens here, you want to see that close above here. So the close, what I mean close is above 105k. 105k. You want to see the weekly close above 105k. The next 3 days close as well above 105k. Once we get that close above 105k, then we are safe. But for now, you can see how the structure looks. Yep, it looks very, 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 very dangerous. Very dangerous. But overall, besides the danger, it still looks very bearish. So if we want to use what's it called? A parallel channel, we have a very funny market here, something like this. So you want to see a break above here, retest it, and then it goes here. So if we get any good strong candle here, something like this is what should most likely happen. That is what we are banking on. So this is, if we get this could be a possible entry, right? Something like this could be an entry. This is for people who like waiting for break and retest, or you're waiting for what's it called, double confirmation. So this is first confirmation, a close above here. This is entry, and you can TP here. So you could always get this could even play out so fast, right? If we get that, right? If we get something like this, you could get something like this, and you get a very quick 1 to 2 arrow kind of trade on this movement. So I want to watch the price action over the course of the next coming days, and no need to rush, no need to like be in a hurry as well. And then we can also see a lot of strength across some altcoins. And we have the playbook here, which is one of the coins we've always shared and talked about. I also posted this as well, this entry as well on Twitter, right? As well, the target still remains the same. Target is 241, 252, 285. So in the same way where I'm looking at Bitcoin getting to whatever it wants to get in the next between November, December, the same way I'm also looking at Solana touching that between this November and December as well, within the same duration of time too as well. So I think that helps the fact on that regard. Someone is asking a question. So if you got any question you want to ask, something you want to know about, you can feel free to ask the question, and I'm going to answer you before I run off. There's actually Sonata, a BSC play I'm looking at, right? There's a BSC play I'm looking at, and I'm looking at it running soon. I feel like it shouldn't go lower than where it is. Maybe it could, right? It could decide to go lower, but I don't expect it personally to go lower than where it is. I expect it to pick up from where it is right now. So hopefully those of you who are, a lot of people are here, you have to like remind me. If you remind me, I'm going to share it on the Telegram as well. So I believe it should run up in the next couple of days as well. It's on BSC. I could share my entry on that for you guys to see. I expect it to do like a couple of exits in the next couple of days. Last within the next 1 week or 2 weeks, it should run up very well. So let me answer the questions briefly on the chat. Someone says, thanks for the teaching analysis so far. I will look up donated. So can we see a 2M to 4M for Nihal during the coming run? Speculative. So Nihal obviously is a meme coin, right? It's a meme coin, and the main people behind the coin has abandoned it. So the run you saw that happen initially was just like a CTO in terms of a couple of us decided to buy into it and just promote it, right? I bought into it, promoted a couple of my guys and friends bought into it as well and all posted, right? We saw I bought in myself, most of guys bought into, and every one of them was just posting at the same time, and it just ran up and exploded and went up very very well. So people who caught in definitely make a lot of money from it, right? From it. And myself, I think I took some profit, but am I sure? I'm not sure. I'm not sure I took profit on that thing because I actually expected to run up high. So I think my bag is down to dust right now, but it's left to chance, right? It's left to probabilities. It's not like, and when I mean left to probabilities, it's not like there's one fixated team who is going to be, who is there running everything. So most of the things you see being set up, different people decide to set up Telegram, this and all that, right? If you, for example, if you join the main Nihao Telegram, you see that there was a scammer trying to scam people of their tokens. A lot of people failed forward for that scam because there's no team anything. It was just random people who decided to just buy and promote it because we saw that this is the OG coin. It's been there for a very long time and it's worth giving attention to. And then I think the concept that a lot of people are using Nihao, the word Nihao is a very popular phrase. A lot of people are using that word. I feel like because of that, it should still sell and probably. So it's led to probabilities, right? What happens? I can't say if it's gonna do that or not. It's just if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. There's no guarantee that it's going to now start picking up very up again. Someone says, "Do you know about Omikami?" Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I have to check it again, to be honest with you. I have to check it again. I know, when maybe a couple of persons drew your attention to a particular coin, and then probably you bought into it. You got into it because of those people. I think that is going to be the situation with that for me. Me. Wow, this coin has been 3 years old. This is serious. I honestly can't recall or remember how I got into it, how I bought it, but I know I bought it. So let me see. I noticed you are following the Mikami. Interesting. Why did you like it? Did it give you so much money? There have to be a reason why you like it so much. Let's look at the one with the charts. Yeah, it ran up very, very well last year. Ran up very, very well last year. It has a very interesting chart. It's not like it's not as if technical analysis always work with what is that called? They call it. It's not like technical analysis always work with all these kind of things, but let me just assume, right? Sometimes it's just good to have the drawing. The drawing is just fine. It's a fine drawing. It looks cool. Looks really, really cool. Looks really, really cool. All right. What next? What next? Thank you, Shifu. I think it looks cool, right? It looks cool. But I can't actually recall what made me buy. I feel like for it, I feel like it was either the team behind it or the guys behind it, something like that. I can't recall that made me to like get in on it. I just put in some money and I think I made some money then. Yeah. The dev is connected to a major project, right? It's connected to one project that did very well. Am I correct? So I bought in and I have not even opened. I don't even know the wallet where I had that. Thank you, Shifu, for those of us trading spot. Where do you think we should buy Bitcoin and Solana? I think the entries I gave for Solana is possible, right? Use the entries I gave on Solana. The entries I gave on Solana still works. It works fine. It's good to go. You could use that. Should do very well. Should perform really good, very well for you. And I mean, anybody wants to get in Solana now can get in, right? Anybody wants to buy Solana even today, this weekend, can buy in Solana right now. Can buy in Solana today, right now, today. tomorrow, next tomorrow, your choice. But as for Bitcoin, you want to wait for the weekly close. So now you can get into that now. I think Solana is in its buying zone already. For Bitcoin, you want to wait for the weekly close, the next 3 days candles. By the weekly close, if it's very positive, then we could get in. So I'm gonna go live on the weekly close. So maybe when the week close, I'll go live. It's gonna be for this, so people who are like night crawlers as well and awake at a time. Some part of the world is definitely going to be like morning for them. Some going to be evening. Some going to be like midnight or whatever. I'll be live that time to look at and then give like a speculation. But if I'm not live that time immediately, what I'm going to do is I'll like do a quick video on and post it on the YouTube on Monday as well. So let's say we're looking at Monday for that, for spots. People buying Bitcoin in spot, you want to look at Monday. Sunday close, we give you decision for Monday. And then for Solana, now is a good time already for that as well. I feel like, so other than that, for the coin that I mentioned, I may want to share, I think someone should remind me later today when I'm setting up. I need to go and get ready for the day. I am not ready already. I'm not ready for the day yet, so I need to go and get ready for the day. And I wish every one of us like success. I wish us an amazing week, and let's make the most of the season and the opportunity that is available this period. Bye for now, everyone. Have an amazing day.